In the last episode, we ended off with finishing the tutorial, getting our venture, and getting ready to start our journey in Eve alone. The main goal of today's episode is to get the basic necessities all sorted out. So we're talking minor blueprints, minor upgrade blueprints, weapon blueprints, ammunition, and to work on getting the coveted frigate blueprint. We haven't decided yet what blueprint to get. I was heavily leaning on the Merlin because it would make our ship tankier and less likely for it to get blown up by the NPCs. However, a Kestrel is also a very good contender for a very good DPS T1 frigate. Now, following the rule set that we have, we are only allowed to buy blueprint originals from NPC trade orders on the market. So this makes it a lot more difficult to move up from our rookie ship to a T1 frigate because we need to buy a blueprint original. Unlike buying a copy, which would almost cost us nearly 100,000 ISK, the blueprint original costs nearly 3 million ISK. So there is an issue of liquid ISK required to get to the stage where we can finally afford a blueprint, while also trying to be wary of how much we spend on our ISK buying other blueprints for modules and ammunitions that we will need to progress further. In any case, the entire experience is interesting and the problem solving required to get there makes it a much more enjoyable experience than just buying the ship or the blueprints off of the market from another player. With that all said, let's get on with the video. Right, shopping trip for blueprints. Now, I'm going to have definitely minor one blueprint. So the first order of business is buying blueprints from NPCs on the market. Now, unlike other games such as RuneScape, there are no regular items for sale on the market from NPCs. The only ones on sale are from other players. So for you to create your own items while following the rule set, you would have to buy the blueprints and manufacture them yourself. This also means that you'll need to find and mine the ores to then refine down into the minerals to then create these items. Starting from the beginning, doing everything, as if it was a new experience. And the fact that I can't use anything from the market as well, that just adds on to how fun this will be. Definitely going to buy a damage control. There is a small shield extender, which is also high order. Let's see. Turrets, hybrids, small. Yeah, we can get some Gatling railgun. What we'll do, buy a 150 mil, buy the 75 mil. What have we got frigates wise? Oh, we can get a Condor blueprint here. That would be actually. Can't afford it because we don't have the liquid ISK. In the meantime, what charges can we buy? Ah, brilliant! We can get an anti-man. I think the first order of business will be to try and get some minor one set up. Some more. Civilian minor is... Damn, it's bad. It's bad. No, that's a player contract. Watch out for that. Closest one is 5 jumps away. And it's a 0.5 system. And freeze frame. This is the Air Career Program. These are a set of tasks that are available to every player in EVE Online. Some people who play this type of game mode do not allow the career missions, because a lot of the rewards that are given in these missions can be frigates, destroyers, and blueprints for frigates, cruisers, and destroyers. In this case, because I am playing solo and not playing with a group, I am allowing myself to claim rewards from the Air Career Program. However, any blueprints and any ships provided by the Air Career Program will not be allowed. The reason being that this program is so good is that with an Omega account, you can claim up to nearly 1.5 million in skill points just from completing these very simple and easy missions. Even if you're an alpha clone, that's still 750,000 skill points. Getting access to 1.5 million skill points early on in your EVE career is amazing. That is nearly about 45 days worth of skill training, and that can be instead used to get access to certain skills that will improve damage, improve your industry, give you more industry slots, and improve refining. It is essential, and that is why I am allowing myself to claim the rewards with certain exceptions on the Air Career Program. This is also applied to the daily rewards. Same principle applies. The daily rewards can give you access to a lot of ISK
but also give you access to skill points, 10,000 to be exact, every day, with a bigger reward at the end. This also applies to any events that are ongoing. I see those as fair game.
So that might be a great place to actually start off. Do some very quick mining stuff set up. This is great. A salvager would also be a good idea, but I think well, not even getting ahead of myself. If I can fit 2 of these 75mm railguns, some antimatter charges, I can do some very basic level 1 missions inside in the Ibis. In the meantime, with those missions, I'll be able to get more fittings, more modules. I can then recycle those modules and use them to construct other things. Oh boy, this is gonna suck. I need to watch out for the... Oh, well, shit. If this is the system I was going to mine...
Now, I'm a little worried about going into this system in particular is because this is a Triglavian minor victory system. In 2019, there was an update to the game that introduced the Triglavians as an invading force into Empire space. They attacked different systems in Empire space, and with the help of Capsuleers, you were able to aid the Triglavian invasion forces, or you could help the Edencon forces to fight the Triglavians back. Now, minor victory systems are systems where the Triglavians had won that invasion force, but they were not the correct type of system for it to drag it into Podgvin or Triglavian space. So even though that the Triglavians won in these systems still remain in Empire space, and you can still access them through Stargates. However, there will be roaming Triglavian forces that will attack you unless your standings are positive with them. However, on an update in 2014, they had changed the standings requirements for you to not be shot at by Triglavian ships. Before, if you had neutral standings with the Triglavians, they would shoot you on sight. Now, on the other hand, if you have 0 standings with the Triglavians, they will not shoot you on sight. Another important change with this update is that stations and Stargates will no longer have entropic disintegrator turrets on them. These were basically sentry turrets that would attack anyone who didn't have any positive standings with the Triglavian collective. Before the update, these systems were really dangerous. Unless you had positive standings with the Triglavians, you could be attacked on sight by some really powerful NPCs or the very powerful turrets that were on the gates and stations. And even though it was high-sec, Concord wouldn't do anything about it. Thankfully, that has been changed, and these systems are relatively less dangerous, but there will still be roaming Triglavian ships that will attack you on sight, and they're very nasty because some of them can warp scramble, some of them can web you, they can neutralize, and all other hosts of E-War.
Yes. I am not friendly with the Triglavians.
The majority of my early game shopping completed, I set destination to one last system that had one more blueprint to pick up. I then came across an opportunity that I just couldn't ignore.
Oh, there's a Kernite! Oh my god, there's a Kernite deposit here. I need to jump on this as soon as. This is insane. The fact that there is a Kernite deposit here. Isogen is going to be one of those really annoying bottlenecks.
Now, the reason why this is a big deal is that when you're in high-sec, with all the ores that are available to you in the regular asteroid belts, the minerals that you can get for them are only tritanium, pyrite, and mexellon. However, umber and kernite do give you some isogen. Now, isogen is one of those minerals that you normally would only find in low-sec. However, randomly on certain high-sec systems, you can get these ore anomalies that spawn, and in these ore anomalies, you can get either umber or kernite, which is a very good source of isogen in a relatively safe area. I say relatively safe because you can still be ganked by other players, but it is an easy way to get some nice early minerals, and I decided that I have to jump on this as fast as possible.
5 minutes. 5 minutes to mine as much umber as I possibly can. This would be fantastic if I was also able to get mexellon from it, but I have to do. Mining critical right now would be great. Yo, I got a crit! Nice! Nice, that's so good. That gave me so much more ore. I think I critted with the civilian laser, unfortunately, but whatever. A crit is a crit.
Now, the reason why I'm excited about this is a relatively new addition to EVE with the new EVE Catalyst expansion. mining was reworked. In the past, regular mining 1 laser would take 60 seconds to complete one cycle. However, thanks to the new update, mining laser 1 now only takes 15 seconds to complete the cycle. Now this also ties in with a new mechanic that was added in the Catalyst update, which are mining criticals. Every time you complete a cycle, you have a very small % chance to get a mining critical. When you hit that mining critical, you get 200% of the ore that you would have mined in that cycle as a bonus. What's interesting about this is that extra ore that you would have gotten from the critical is not pulled out from the asteroid. So that is just essentially free minerals just out of thin air because you got that critical. It's such a great update, and I really enjoy this because it's now a parallel to the residue mechanics that were added in an earlier update. So for us right now, any criticals that we do get means that we'll get more ore, we'll deplete the asteroid slower, and it's also a higher yield than what we're currently getting on a regular cycle. I really can't believe that we lucked out on a Kernite and Umber asteroid grav site. This was completely coincidental. It just so happened to be in the same system that we were going to pick up our last blueprint. This is huge because isogen is one of the few minerals that you cannot get reliably in HiSec through asteroid belts. So this grav site, which has a random chance to spawn in set constellations, has been a great boost to our isogen minerals. However, as it stands now, we now need to get the regular minerals, so tritanium, pyrite, and mexellon, before we can construct the rest of our equipment.
Alright, well, because of the cluster shutdown, I'm gonna take a pause for now. Yeah. Back after everything's back and running. And we're back! Would you believe I was an idiot this entire time? I have been recording... I have been recording the game in 720p. Great job, me. Let's have a quick look if that Umber site has respawned. It has not. That is a shame. Well, shall now go to an asteroid belt. Hopefully not get munched up by Triglavians. Not friends. And I will claim this biology skill. Because oh, cannot redeem it here. I have to redeem it. Reason being is I want to claim this biology thing and use this advanced cerebral booster that I just got given.
So, as it was said previously, we now need to go and collect the other minerals required to build the other equipment that we have. However, mining in Eve is quite boring and quite monotonous, so I'm going to try and quickfire through this and show you only the best bits.
Pyroxys used to have Noxium in it, but now it has Mexellon instead. We will mine some Scordite later, but right now, need the Mexellon. It's actually quite nice that the Plagio case and the has some tritanium as well. So it's good. I think that's got to be us then. We're going to be here for quite a while until we can get some initial ore. This thing needs Zydrine and Megasite. I don't know what the best way to get Zydrine would be.
Just like how I lucked out with the Isogen and Kernite deposit, there is also another grav site that can spawn in HiSec. This one's even rarer and only appears inside Empire border systems that border an A0 star. This was added in during the Triglavian invasion expansion, and what happens with these grav sites is they can spawn specific asteroids that have specifically one set of minerals that are not really easily found in HiSec. For example, there's an asteroid that just gives you isogen, there's an asteroid that just gives you megasite, and there's an asteroid that just gives you Zydrine. These sites are very rare, and when they do appear, they disappear super quickly because groups will always go and prioritize these sites because they give you access to minerals that you just can't get anywhere else in HiSec. In the meantime, I do have another idea of how to get some of the megasite and Zydrine that we will need.
Get it from Spudgemain or Istot. Megasite, I remember, is from, once again, Spudgemain. Some of the abyssal ores. I feel like I'm mining a lot. Oh, because Plagio Case has got a M3.
This is actually something I'd like to touch upon as well. The reason that I got confused here is because I was mining Umber previously and was surprised at how slow that was going. This is because certain ores in Eve have different volumes. For example, Veldspar only has a volume of 0.1 meters cubed, while the Umber I was mining previously had a 0.6 meters cubed. So even though you need 100 of a certain ore to reprocess it in a batch, you still need to take into account the volume of the ore. So for example, if you had Veldspar, which has 0.1 meters cubed volume, and you have a mining laser that after a cycle produces 39 meters cubed, you will have 390 units of Veldspar. 100 units is what you need to refine it down into titanium. However, let's say you were trying to mine Umber, which is a 0.6 meters cubed of volume. After completing one cycle, we will only get 65 units of Umber. You still need to get 100 units to be able to refine that Umber down. So this is very important when you need to take into account what ores you mine, because even though an ore might show that when it's refined down it makes more minerals, you need to take into account that the volume of the ore is much greater, meaning you'll have to stay there for longer and to mine a considerable amount more ore just so that you can get to that 100 unit refined number.
Just realised that I've already just applied some of the free skill points that I had, but we only had Mining Frigate 1, so that was a bit of a shame. There's a 5% boost to mining yield per level. Alright, we can make a Miner 1. Yep, that looks like all the stuff that we... It was already at the highest that we can get so far. Gonna be our first haul. That's not so bad. It's a shame that there's not that much wonder. So the reprocessing efficiency is 34.9. So base yield of 32%. Now,
so this is actually an interesting point here. I realized that the station that I was mining and dropping all my stuff at has only a 32% base refining yield. Now this is important because in the past it used to be with certain skills your reprocessing rate would actually go higher than 100%. This was changed in an update back in 2014, and now with maxed skills and the best implants that you can get, the best refining rate that you can achieve at an NPC station is 70%. So I was looking at this at the time and thinking, this can't not be right. I am below 50%, which should be the base rate. And so it was at this point that I decided, let's check the other stations in the system, because certain NPC stations have different refining rates, and we could probably be lucky and find one in system that has a 50% refining base rate.
Station is it's an interesting legacy thing, and I thought they all changed that, so we shall see if it... Aha! Look at that! This place has a 54.5% refinery rate versus the other place. So we are way better reprocessing this station than the other. That's another thing that you should look out as a new player if you're not using player-owned structure to do your refining. Certain NPC stations have different different refining rates. So yeah, around the double check, you know.
Docking permission requested.
I could have lost a good 20% of my minerals there, especially the stuff with the umber. The isogen is like gold right now. I don't want 54.5% as well. So either or, these two are the better options.
With that mining operation finished and the minerals refined at a higher refining station, I decided that I would maybe go for a little bit more just to have a nice stockpile. Unfortunately, what happened was that pirate NPCs had spawned in the asteroid belt. So the venture that I currently have doesn't have any drones, and I don't have a drone blueprint at the time. I thought that these NPCs would be a pushover, so what I did is just grab my old Corvette, fit 2 civilian railguns on it, and hope for the best.
There. Gatling gun on it. God, the DPS is horrendous. Hopefully we don't get absolutely obliterated. Clearing out that... clearing out been here. The Demolishers. These are going to be tough ones, actually. get within range, do what we can with our 2 civilian railguns. This is not going so well, is it? I feel that these guys are way out of the loop here. No. I bumped off of a rock. It is over. And I bumped off another rock. It is. Bye-bye to this rookie ship, it seems. Alright. As soon as I saw the demolishers, I knew this was going to be too hard. So, this is a great thing about rookie ships. You can lose as many as you want. Doesn't really count.
This interaction really does emphasize how important it is that we get a frigate as soon as possible. The jump in power and tank that you can get from going from a rookie ship to a frigate is immense. This also shows how crucial it is to have the correct fitting on a ship, because if we had proper railguns and some sort of active tank, we would have been able to stay for longer and destroy the enemy ships without having to just rely on our pure buffer of the rookie ship.
Add industry up to... Oh, mass production 2 is going to go up, so that means after this is completed, I'll be able to make the small shield booster that I need. All working out. Oh, what do I need for the magnetic field stabilizer? Oh, I don't really need that much for the magnetic field stabilizer either. Just afford it. Oh no, I can't afford it. I don't think I'll be able to afford the manufacturing job either. We will need to kill something for bounties. So.
And we've come to our first setback, which is Liquid ISK. I need the skill book to actually use the shield booster that I want to create. However, I can't even afford the skill book. So what I've decided is that I do remember that in rookie systems there used to be these rogue cloning facilities, which would have some very easy NPCs that you could destroy that would have some bounty. And hopefully with enough of these ships, we can scrape together some ISK to be able to afford the skill book and then manufacture the small shield booster.
Reason why we're going to go here is that is a rookie player system. And in rookie player system, you have specific, what's it called? NPCs that drop civilian items. And if I remember correctly, one of the civilian items that you dropped are civilian shield boosters. Alright, we're here.
Unfortunately, when I arrived at the new player system, it didn't have any of the rogue cloning facilities anymore. I don't know, maybe I wasn't lucky at that day, or if this is old content that was removed from the game. But either way, there were some Guristas hideaways which are level 1 combat sites, and I decided to take my chances there.
Oh yeah, these will probably be doable. Might need to warp in and out a few times, but I think this can be done. These guys have a good bounty as well. So, take these out. Get back on our mining escapades. Oh, he's shield boosted. Yep, this looks definitely doable. It's just the two Merlin enemies that we had before were just too high level for us. Dropped just some metal scraps. That's fine. Metal scraps were. This is the sad thing apparently. In the past, anytime you get metal scraps now, by the way, it used to be a roll for a Tech 1 module of a frigate size, whatever. And the problem was these modules produced more minerals than the actual scrap itself. So people would deliberately do ratting specifically to get these T1 modules to then recycle them and get more minerals than they would from mining. I think it was called rat mining. I'm not too sure. I don't remember the correct term. It's been very, very long since it was a... So yeah, that's a nice little bit of trivia for you. I'm actually quite surprised that we're able to fight these enemies quite well. I'm glad that we didn't hit a roadblock that would have basically stopped us from going further. Nice shield booster would be ideal for this, but as it stands, we don't have any. Now, by the time we're done with this, the railguns should be finished, so we can upgrade from civilian to actual one model one. Possibly do better damage. Now, these guys are also the same. Their bounty's a little bit higher, but they don't do as much damage. Should be able to take care of these guys. Well, these are rocket builds as well. So I set our orbit to about 5,000 and avoid getting hit by the rockets. No luck there. Let's set our orbit to 1,000 again. If we get into armor, that's fine. Even though this is a shield tank, it doesn't matter. It's, once again, it is just a ship. The only thing I would really care about is if we lose some nice... But as it stands, I don't really care if I get into armor. When it comes to rookie ships as well, rookie ships actually, they don't have a repair cost. He didn't drop anything, that's fine. What is this hideaway called? That's LZK. Oof. So we'll repair up, we'll come back, and blow them up again. It would be nice to get some source of Noxium, just so we can make some antimatter ammo. Because then with the 75mm railguns as well, we can a lot more damage than the lead. But go to the repair shop, repair the item. Repair cost is free because it's a rookie ship. This is also great because these scraps, if I remember correctly, they no longer have it. They used to have a buy order, not anymore. All right, now we're back. Plus, the bounties from this are going to be really useful. Nice! We just got a DPS increase. Oh, tiny DPS increase, but we'll take it. We will take it.
Just like I had said in the previous episode, we had got Surgical Strike up, which gives us a 2% damage bonus to all turreted weapons. So even though this is something very small and minuscule, it's great in the long run because it's a bonus that applies to every weapon we use that is a turreted weapon. Missiles are a completely different story, and so are drones, but in the meantime, we're using turreted guns. This is a good boost for us.
Surgical Strike, level 1. Trajectory analysis is the next thing. Ah, nice, he dropped something. More infiltrators. Drop. Oh, nice! He dropped a ECM module. Completely useless against NPCs, but when recycled, Megasite! Will we actually get Megasite from it? I don't know.
Now, like I had touched on earlier in the video, there was another way for us to get Megasite and Zydrene. Certain modules, when they're recycled down, will produce Megasite and Zydrene. However, it was at this point that I completely forgot that when it comes to refining down modules, it is a base 50% refinery rate. There is a skill called scrap metal processing, but it's about a 30-day train to get the metallurgy to level 5 to actually get access to the skill book, and that only increases it by about 2-3% per level. So I got excited thinking I had a source of Megasite from these jammers, but apparently because it only has one, you can't half one. You only get 0. So it's a bit of a shame, but that's just how it is.
This is hype. Oh, this is so hype. I can't wait. This is great. We can upgrade this ship. Honestly, even though my goal is the Merlin, would be a substantial upgrade. I think, depending on the price and the blueprint, no, it is better off saving up the extra ISK and getting the Merlin, because I was going to think we could get a Condor instead. Condor doesn't have that much in way of manufacturing. Not simulate. It has way more capacitor than the other one. But this requires light missiles. This used to require hybrid guns. Now it needs missile. I have Mega Sight now. Oh, why not? They took my Mega Sight! No! I got taxed. Taxed. There we go. Now have a massive upgrade to our damage. Double the damage. That's fantastic. We have doubled our damage. This is actually quite huge. Shame we don't have much in the case of ammunition. And we can now do 3 out of 3. Once they get the small shield booster and the magnetic field stabilizer, I think making a damage. I think I'm going to take a break from now. I've got a few more other things that I need today, and still need to wait for the extra ISK to come in from. Right, gonna have to wait for things to be manufactured, and I'm gonna go take a break. So let's get back to this later.
So that's the end of the episode. We've done a lot of progress today. We've been able to finally get the minerals required to manufacture the modules, as well as new railguns for our rookie ship to make it a little bit better. ISK is still going to be the bottleneck at the current stage because we don't have a reliable way to actually make good ISK. Hopefully with the rookie ship now fitted out with proper guns and hopefully with a proper tank, we should be able to tackle level 1 missions and actually get not only ISK from the missions themselves, but also the bounties on any ships. And one of the benefits of doing missions is that the NPCs will also drop us items. These items can then be refined down to give us Megasite, Zydrine and Noxium. These 3 minerals we cannot get reliably in high sec, so being able to get even slithers amount of them will allow us to build specialized modules and better guns. And just before I go, I want to thank everyone who watched and commented on the first video. I never expected it to get this much attention and traction. Now I have made mistakes. For example, the audio in this video wasn't that really good. I